Steve Bannon may not be out of the woods yet with his alleged charity fraud that he engaged in with the other folks involved in the We Build the Wall charity, which I think it's odd that that thing is even described as a charity. It's not a charity. You want to build a wall because you hate the people over there. It's a hate monument, really, is what it is. But anyway, Steve Bannon got pardoned by Donald Trump because he had been charged with federal charges of scamming the donors of that particular group. So he takes the pardon, but now prosecutors in New York are saying, well, since he can't be charged federally, we're going to go ahead and just investigate whether we can charge him on the state level, because the original charges, the original federal charges, actually stemmed from an investigation from the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. Didn't know that, by the way. I didn't. I don't know if you did. But so they have all the information, they have all the material, they understand. And, in a situation like that, when you violate both state and federal law, most of the time, depending on what the crime is, you're obviously not going to get charged by both. So if it's federal, you go with federal. If it's, typically you go with federal. You're looking to get more charges out of that, a longer sentence if that's what you're after, whatever it is. The punishments are more severe. So you typically go with the federal charges unless, of course, they plea down a little bit with you, make some kind of deal, then you'll drop the federal and go with the state. Again, this is all just, sometimes it goes this way. But in this particular instance, whatever it was, they decided to go with federal instead of state charges. That's why Trump was able to pardon him. So now investigators say, well, since you pardoned him from the federal, we'll just charge him at the state level. And here's the problem if that is successful. Because again, they've already done the investigation. They did the investigation. They know they got him. But they also know they got him because the acceptance of a pardon, according to the United States Supreme Court, is an admission of guilt. So if they walk in to charge him, he has effectively already pleaded guilty or admitted that he did it. Now, he doesn't have to plead guilty, but I guarantee you the first thing that they would ever say if this thing went to a jury would be, did you know that acceptance of a pardon is an admission of guilt? Well, he accepted a pardon for what we're charging him for, so... But therein lies the other problem, not with the pardon, but with he already got pardoned for what we're charging him for. And suddenly you're looking at double jeopardy. And Cy Vance, the Manhattan DA who kind of kickstarted all this, already knows a little bit about that. Because Cy Vance tried to do the same thing with Paul Manafort, and the courts threw it out because they said it violated double jeopardy. It was the same situation. Manafort got pardoned for the federal charges. Cy Vance came back and said, okay, well, we'll charge you at the state level for it then. And the courts threw it out saying that's double jeopardy. He got charged, then he got, convicted and pardoned. You cannot do it again. The law would appear to be on Bannon's side right now. So unless Cy Vance has an ace up his sleeve and says, well, hold up, we didn't charge you with this, which is totally possible. If he has that, he doesn't have to worry about double jeopardy, and he can effectively use the acceptance of the pardon as an admission of guilt. Then you got him. But if you come to court with the exact same thing that he has already been pardoned for, you're going to get laughed out of there, as you should, because it's already happened to you once and you know better. But that's why I think Cy Vance knows something we don't, because he already got smacked down for it once. He knows if he does the same thing will happen. So I'm willing to bet he's got an ace up his sleeve, and I can't wait to see what it is.